G'day folks, just wandering around eBay and all that sort of thing, and bought myself a decent slow motion camera, I guess you'd call it, combination HD slow motion. I'm not going to reveal that one just yet, but I guess I'm just looking at some of these sites. Kogan seems to be a generic TV and electronics manufacturer. They use brand name products like Samsung panels and things like that, but I guess my question is, would this stuff last much longer than the $2,500 set that you'd get from Samsung or Sony or something like that? There's some pretty expensive sets out there, and yet for 499 bucks plus delivery you can get a super slim border you can get a super slim boarded 46-inch LED TV, or 3 of them, and do a surround vision or something like that. Like, I'd love to buy 3 of them and set them up as surround vision for gaming or something like that. That's what I've always wanted to do one day. But I guess my question is, would these really last any less time than some of the bigger names? Because they all seem to be built pretty flimsy these days, and I'm seeing a lot of big name sets show up as scrap after 5 to 8 years. So I guess what's the point? I mean, big name LCDs seem to hang in a lot longer than the plasmas did. I don't think Kogan even does plasmas, but yeah, I don't know. If you had to buy new, what would you buy? Would you buy a Sony, or would you buy a bloody generic cheap one? I mean, 499 bucks, that's less than what I paid, or about the same as what I paid for the Ford that I bought. And I probably spent 6 times that making it a really nice, good running car. So yeah, it's even just to buy 3 of them, it's less than what it would cost to get that day where I'm going to pick up back on the road. So that's cheap in Australian terms anyway. I know some countries $499 is a fair bit of money, but still it's cheap in Australia if you've got a half decent job. I mean, my job's not exactly stellar. I still have to pay rent and a full heavy-duty power bill and all that sort of stuff, but considering what I just blew on a slow motion HD camera, that ain't much. That's just pocket change. So I guess, yeah, the question is, do these cheap sets like the TCL that's here, this thing's lasted a while before it died, are they really worth the money, or is it best to buy a big name brand and take the chance that you've blown $2.5 grand on something that's going to last you 6 or 7 years, like just out of warranty typically, and you'll probably end up having to pay $800 or $1,000 to get someone just to look at it. And that's half the problem. I mean, the NEC plasma that my scrapyard friend gave me to repair, it's already run up to like a $300 mates rates job. So yeah, since his daughter's found a replacement, and a couple of replacements from bugger all, a company business asset thing, he's decided to write it off because it's simply not worth the money for somebody to actually get someone to fix it. If it was for a random person who walked in off the street for a repair, I'd have quoted them probably $500 by now, and I definitely would have taken a $150 quotation fee just for looking at it and spending all that time on it. So yeah, where do you draw the line? This panel's fine, so I'm going to repair the power supply shortly and give it a go. But if it doesn't work, well, it'll end up like those ones. A bit of target practice. And of course, I'll probably save them until the slow motion camera arrives. That'll be a bit of fun. A lot of people have been telling me to get a slow motion camera, or high speed camera, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, we'll have a little bit of fun with the air cannon and the car and high pressure water. I'll save the big 4-wheel drive tyre that I've got for popping. I'll save that until I get the camera. I was going to do it today, but nah, let's wait. I'll have the camera set up at one angle, have this camera set up doing the normal stereo sound HD video, but I'll have the slow motion camera filming in like 640 by 480 at 800 frames a second or something like that, and you'll get a half decent, like, base level slow motion playback. I mean, I don't have 20 grand to blow on a professional grade high speed camera, but for the sake of $400, well, you can't beat that. $400 and you can get something that can film up to 1,000 frames per second. not half bad. So I'll show you what it is when it arrives. We'll have a bit of play around with it and go from there. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame modern technology is so disposable. I've gone from playing with 70s and 80s vintage audio equipment to these generic cheap things again, but we've got to get them out of here and keep cleaning up. It's not a bad day apart from the wind. Yeah.